Action! Hello mobility shippers! You were a lot to engage and react with the first episode, so thank you so much for your support. So this is the second video looking at the impact of mobility on our environment. Our modes of transport are amongst the main drivers of global warming and climate change. And to understand this relationship and to put it into perspective, I believe we should look at the overall climate change picture, which is the topic of this video. Alright, let's get started with the question of today. Is it too late for our planet to stay untouched from climate change consequences? Let me answer with a classic MBA response. It depends. The MBA made me a very intelligent man. It depends on what matters to us. First, if we talk about the world our parents, grandparents, ancestors have known so far, then yes, it's too late. The increase of frequency and intensity of fire, hurricane, flood, drought, and so on won't probably be reversed. Second, if we look at the future, then the answer depends on how hard we want to be hit by climate change consequences. The effects are exponentially devastating as we climb the temperature ladder of global warming. Today, we are more or less at +1 degree Celsius since the Industrial Revolution. But if we go up to +5 degrees, then studies have found that it's simply not compatible with human civilization. And the IMF found that this threshold could be reached by 2075 if we keep our business as usual practices. So from +1 degree to +5 degrees, it is literally up to us to decide below which threshold we want to stay. The world, or most of it, pledged at the COP21 in Paris to limit the temperature increase to roughly +1.5 degrees. But frankly, the more I investigated what is the climate change status quo, the more I realized that we will probably not make it. Now I understand why some experts told me, Fred, we are. The problem with climate change is that we are all differently preoccupied with this challenge. Most of us will have an opinion that is based on 3 factors. 1. We live in different areas. For example, the need for emission-free cars may be more or less important depending on whether we live in the countryside or in a small, medium or large city. 2. We are at different stage in our life. For example, the motivation of my grandparents to shift towards more sustainable habits at their age may be not as high as the motivation as I have to build a more livable world for my future kids. 3. And this is the most important for me, we all have different level of awareness regarding sustainability and climate change. While 33% of Americans still believe today that global warming has nothing to do with human activity, there are people like me that are frankly worried about still being able to breathe in cities without losing years of life expectancy. And this is on this aspect that I hope that my next videos will make a positive influence by talking about the impact of our modes of transport on our environment. Mobility is a choice that we make every day. From going to a supermarket to traveling to exotic islands for our holiday, probably after COVID, we can choose which mode of transport we want to use. In the following episodes, I will show you how important is this power that we hold in our hands as mobility users. Hey, if you want to know more, stay tuned for the next video.